Hey guys, welcome to Modern Crafting. Today we are gonna finish our lamps. I know almost all of you have started these lamps already, and a couple of you didn't start them or only got partway through. So today we're gonna work on finishing them. I know that I have explained how to do this to you a few weeks back, but I'm gonna just go over it again for anybody that was absent or anybody who has forgotten since we haven't been together in a few weeks. Okay, so I sent home with you guys all of your supplies. Some of it is already constructed because you've gotten so far on it. This is hardware cloth. You will have gotten a sheet of hardware cloth and also a smaller square of hardware cloth. And then you should have approximately 12 coffee filters that most of you have painted at this point, and wire to wire your hardware cloth together. And then this is your light. You'll need to put a light bulb in it, but this is your light cord. And then also a little hanger. The metal piece is to screw into the ceiling after you've received parental permission, of course. And then this little white piece here, you can put it on the cord so that it drapes up like this and holds onto the little hook. So let's get started. The first thing that you are going to do is take, these are just regular coffee filters, and you're going to paint them. And actually supplies that you will need would be a pair of scissors for cutting your coffee filters, paint and paints, and a cup of water, and something to put your paints in. And then some sort of wire cutters also. Okay, so if I'm going to paint this, so what I'll do, I'm only going to put like that much paint in, like the tiniest little bit, because I need to water it down. And what I'll do is just do this. I'll just drip a bunch of water into there, and you want it to be the consistency of water. So, and I'll do a couple of colors like that so that I have a variety. If you want to do it all solid color, you can, or whoa, don't be like me. Or you could do solid color, you could do multiple colors, rainbow, ombre, whatever. Okay, actually now I've got my paintbrush dirty. Okay, so add water to these colors here. Doesn't really matter how much. Oh, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have different paintbrushes, or, well, I guess wash them in between. So all you're gonna do is just put your color on here, and if it's too light, you can add a little bit more paint so that your color shows up, like so. Let's see, which one was this? This was this one. So I'll put a little more paint in. I watered that, possibly a little too much. And just mixing it in there. So obviously you don't need to use white paint if you want part of this to be white, because it's already white. And so you can just leave whatever part you want to stay white. Okay, and then I'm gonna mix my gold paint in, because can't go wrong with gold. And that doesn't mix as well. All right, and then maybe just put some little streaks of gold on this one. So you can do whatever design you want. You're not gonna use like the outer little edges here. So like this is what this one looks like. And then you would just set this aside until it's completely dry. You can, oh, now I have a mess. You can hair dry it if you want to use your blow dryer to dry it faster. I know we had somebody do that in one of the classes, and it actually dried up pretty quick, and she was able to still do the project with the dried pieces the same day. So I'm going to set this out of the way. Okay, and I brought no napkins down here. Well, these also double as napkins. So if you're ever in a jam, if you're ever in a pandemic and you can't get paper towels, I got you. Okay, there we go, all clean. Okay, so you would paint 12 of those, paint them all the same, paint them all different, whatever you want. Okay, so here's an example of one that has dried. And I'll show you, if you don't add water to your paint, this is what it's going to look like putting it on dry. So we're kind of going for a watercolored effect here. So if you like it like this, do it like this. All right. What I would do with this, I'm going to cut it into strips so that it will be woven into this piece here. As you can see, better if the light is off. As you can see, this here has got just little strips of paper woven. Okay, but I need it for the light. So if you're really accurate, you can get a ruler and you can cut this all the same size. If you're me, you'll probably eyeball it. So these are 1/4 inch squares. So I'm basically gonna eyeball to see how thick I want these strips to be. About like this. And then I'm just gonna cut up a bunch of these. I get about 6, 7 out of each of these coffee filters. You could get more, but like you would have these tiny little strips that you would only be able to weave into 2 squares. So I pretty much don't use about that much of it. So yeah, I would cut these up times 12 of these. Okay, so I'd have that pile there. And you could actually be doing this while your coffee filter's dry. Okay, some of these are really stiff and hard to bend because apparently there's different grades. So if you don't want to be stabbed by this, you might want to consider wearing your heavy-duty gloves. You're going to want to shape it into a cylinder. And it makes it a little bit easier if you kind of give it a head start here like so. All right. Whoa. Not quite like that. Okay, that's okay. We're going to wire it. It's going to be fine. So I'm going to overlap these, if you can tell, by 1 square. You can go, it's just going to get smaller, and then you can have this overhang here. But, so you can make it smaller. But I'm going to do it by 1. And you could actually make like a giant one of these if you felt the need to. Okay. Wire. This is 22 gauge wire, which is about the perfect thickness because you can still cut it with scissors, which is handy. Probably not good for the scissors, but we're cutting it anyway. Okay, so I would say probably, you're gonna probably want 5 pieces. I would start with the middle, and hopefully you can see, I'm gonna lay this on top of itself. The first part is, this is the hardest, getting it lined up and getting the first piece of wire in. So I'm gonna shoot for the middle. I'm gonna wire it on this outside corner to this second line here so that it doesn't spring back open. So I recommend kind of bending it like that so you can kind of go up, kind of like sewing-ish. And okay. It's gonna be a long video, guys. Okay, I got this. So when you're struggling, think of me, because, okay, well, you can stick a finger underneath and push it up like so. And then your wire will be wonky shaped, but at least it'll be up. So there's no graceful way to do this, probably. Oh, wait. If you have your needle nose, you probably can't see anything I'm doing here. You can grab it with your needle nose and force it through. There we go. Okay, victory. Oh. Okay. No, I almost dropped it. Okay. That, if you can see, oh, I can't lift it. Okay. So it's sticking up, and then you're going to want to twist them together as tightly as possible. If you have a friend that wants to hold this for you, actually you shouldn't have any friends over because we're in a pandemic. You should be staying at home. But if you have a family member that wants to do you a solid by holding this, that might be very helpful. Okay. And, whoa, don't hook your clothes on it. You can twist it more with your trusty needle nose. The more you twist it, like the closer you can get to twisting it at the base. You twist it too much, it'll snap. I've learned that lesson. But the closer you can get... Guys, that was a fail. That's okay. That's okay, that's how we learn. We're gonna try that again. Okay, we are gonna try that again. I feel like this piece is gonna be too short. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, we're gonna try a new technique. I have done this before multiple times. You wouldn't know it. Try it like this. So, failure just makes us have to try new things, and that's okay. So I'm gonna go doot like this. Oh! Nope, never mind. I'm gonna have to restart this video, guys. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm gonna get this. I swear, it's gonna happen. Wait. Okay. Okay, I have this one on. You can take this, take your needle nose, grab onto the part that is sticking up, and just bend it over backwards, like so. See that? Now it's not sticking up. So that might be easier. Okay, so pretend I've got this all wired. Your next step is take this piece of wire and center this on here. Once you get it in the exact shape that you want this to be in, you're gonna take a Sharpie. First, you're gonna lay down something that you don't care about, like, well, paper towels or brushes, so maybe a coffee filter, napkins, parchment paper, wax paper, or something like that, and lay it under this so you don't get this on your table. And you're gonna take a Sharpie and just trace all the way around here so that you cut this in the right shape. So don't cut this, don't do this until you've got this in the right shape. Okay. As you can see, there's a circle here now. So the importance of putting something down. So you can't see it well, but you can see little dots going around. So I would take wire cutters, or you got your wire cutter right here on your needle nose, or the tin snips, and just start cutting on that line all the way around. And just follow the line like so, all the way into a circle, which I will show you. I already have one cut out for the sake of time. Looks like this. And you can see I cut out 4 little squares into one larger square. And that is where your plug is going to go through. So you're going to want to try and find the center and just snip 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got basically a cross, which that's long gone. Well, so you got your square cut out. Then that's going to go inside of here. Ow! Wear your gloves. It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't feel great either. Okay. So you can put it either 1 row down or 2 rows down. You can put it as far down as you want. And you're going to take more of this wire and you're just going to wire it. I would say at least 4 places, like so. So this is nice and secure because your lamp is going to hang from this. And if it's not secure, the whole thing's going to pull out. So make sure that it's nice and secure. And once we get done with the whole decorating aspect, you're going to take this plug and you're going to carefully jimmy it through that hole that we cut and pull it all the way up so that just this light is hanging like that. And then you'll have your cord to plug in. Okay, next step would be after your, so this is all ready to roll, after your paper is dry, take your scissors and you can measure this out if you have a ruler. If you like being really super exact, you can do that. I am more of an eyeball it kind of gal. So I just cut it in half, and then you want them to be slightly thinner than this. So just hold it up and eyeball it. This is about a 1/2 inch, so slightly less than a 1/2 inch. So, and if they're quite a bit smaller, that's okay. Then your wire will just show. So about like that. And you want to cut, I would say you probably get 6, 7, 8 maybe out of each of these pieces. Maybe 8. And then that I mean, you can keep cutting, but it's going to get shorter and shorter and shorter, so you're not going to be able to do much with it. So start at the top or the bottom, doesn't matter. And you're just going to take it and you're going to push it through a hole, and then you're going to pull it back up through the next hole, like so. And you're going to push it through, and you hold it back through this one, and hopefully you can see that well. So I'm weaving it through. And when I get to the end where I've run out, I am going to glue on another one so that I can keep going. And it will take about I think it was 2.5 we decided. So as this is getting to the end here, I'm gonna take a second one and put a little, just a little dot. You don't even need much glue if it comes out at all. There we go. Like so. A little dot of glue. Glue it onto the end like that. Straight like that. Okay, now it's longer again, and I can just keep weaving it through. So I'll just keep going. Wait, that was in, so this is out. Like so, and just keep going all the way around. So this will get me around about that far, and then I'll have about another half of one. So I'll just glue this on, and when I get to the end, I'll cut it, and so I'll glue it to get as I weave it. So the finished one will be like so. There's one row. And then you'll just go row by row by row. This could take you an hour, 2 hours, might take a bit. So maybe just sit in front of a show or put on some music, and you can just do it all the way around. You're going to go down the entire thing. It should take about 10 or so coffee filters, but I had you make 12 just to make sure. So if you get 8 strips per coffee filter, you'll definitely have enough. All right, and then once it is totally filled out, like this one, you can see the light is in there. You're just going to take your plug, and this isn't secure because I didn't wire it, but you're just going to come up through here, and you're going to have to like jimmy it and twist it to get that plug to fit through there. So I am not going to go through that right now because it's not wired and it's just going to fall out. But, and then you'll be ready to go, and you'll have a hanging lamp. So exciting. All right, I will see you guys back here next week.